Welcome everyone. In this walkthrough, I'll take you quickly through the use case modeling of activity diagrams. Now, what you will see, this is based on, again, the self-serve fast food system we worked on previously in walkthrough 1. Now, what you will see as part of this walkthrough, I've added the place order storyboard. Now, what you will see, that's basically a section which describes what is going on in that use case. Now the use case is the place order. Now as it states here, the place order use case allows customers or cashiers to select the item from the menu which they want to order. Now before the use case can, the user can place an order, the system should display the main menu to the user. From that we can start to see the precondition and the flow of event what starts the use case. Now as you continue reading into the next sections, it has been identified. Firstly, there's a section about identifying the precondition, identifying the start of the use case, and later on the context of the diagram. Now, so the rest of the context of the diagram you will be able to find in the rest of the bullets, from bullet 2 to 5, where the use case starts when something is done and what is then done. If the user selects something, what should be done? Okay, so what we will be looking at is how to model that in Software Architect. Now what you will see in Software Architect, this is the model we previously worked with, here the self-serve fast food system use cases. Now I've opened it. So here's our use case diagram we've created previously. Now what you'll see to develop the activity diagram, there's two options in this. We can go to place order, and if you've worked with the building blocks and you've copied the use case one, you'll see there's a diagram which represents the activity diagram. Now if you've copied it and renamed it correctly and so on, you should have the place order one. If you don't, you can also double click on it and it's going to ask you if you want to create a diagram, but we don't want that. Or you right click on the use case for place order and add diagram, and you say activity diagram, and it will create one for you. Okay, but I'm just going to move that from the model and just open up my place order activity diagram. Now on the right hand side in the palette you will find all the things we can work with. Here's our initial node, there's activity final, our actions, and our control nodes, where we can have a decision or a merge, fork, or join the initial activity final. And then there's some other options which we're not working with. Now firstly, to add the node for our precondition, you'll see there's an option there which can add the node for the precondition. Now I'm not gonna type everything in there. Then have is basically selecting the initial node and placing the initial node, and then what we also have is I'm going to create an attachment node for the initial node, which will capture the flow of events. We'll go in there. Now what should go in the flow of events is what starts the use case. Now what we note from this, it says to us that the system will display the major order option screen to the user. So the first option that should happen is we should have an action here. Display major option screen. Okay. Now what we then can do is go to the flow option, and we can start to place in the control flow. To start this, the user had to do something. Now if we go back to the specification document, we'll start to see it says here, this use case starts when the user selects to place an order on the menu. So what started the event is the user selected to place an order. Now in this case, what has happened? It's a noun verb past tense statement. We could have also named it selected place order or place order selected. Both would have worked. So selected place order, and that displays it for us. If we go back to our specification, and it says does the user selected any, if the user selected any of the three options as either drinks, meals or side, the system should display the various options available under the chosen options. Now, what do we need to decide? Did the person select drinks or a meal or a side? We need some form of a decision to detect what was selected. Now, from this we know that we have three options, either drinks, meals or side, from which the user can select. Now, what would be the best way to phrase this? As we're either ordering drinks, meals or side, it will most probably be to say order type or item type with a question mark, because it should be stated with a question. In this case, this question is a bit vague and not clear. So we might need to interrogate the text a bit more to find the correct statement from the text. Now, we need to connect it with a control flow going from action to the decision, and from the decision we are going to have our actions. So one of the options would be to display the drinks menu. And on the other side, we will then have the option to display the sides menu and also the meals menu. Now, I'm going to leave you to finish your diagram, but ultimately at the end of the day, we need to also have the merge that brings in all this together. Now, if we have a decision, one of the things that we need to do with the decision is we need to place the guard condition on the branch that goes from the control flow that goes from the decision. Now, to do that, you select a line and you go to the section here which says, yeah, there it is, guards. Now the section we want to place in is the guard condition there, and in this case this will be side, and what you will see, I just typed inside there, not side in square brackets, it will place the square brackets automatically. Drinks, and this will then be meal or meals. Okay. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we must also have a final node from there on, which must be labeled and so on. Now, this is basically what you will go through to develop an activity diagram. Now, to finalize the rest of the activity diagram, you will need to go through the rest of the storyboard to see what's all the options and that in terms of the actions and activities that needs to be there for the system, but I will leave you to finalize that.